Use of linguistic example. You have seen that while discussing morphology and even now syntax, we have been using different languages to cite certain example, to discuss certain features of lexical categories, grammatical categories, morphological categories. So why don't we just use simply English language and try to bring our subject round, right? So there are two main reasons for not using only English as examples. First, to learn about differences between languages. We want to know or learn about what are the differences found between languages. And second thing is, we also look for similarities. So these two reasons are very important. We want to look what are the similarities and what are the differences between the languages. Furthermore, languages don't all look the same, and examining just English language and its immediate relatives doesn't show how much languages can differ or they are the same. For example, we take two phrases from English and German, because English and German are very close languages. They are related languages. They are both Northern Europe languages. So let's see that. For example, let's see how do they translate each other. A word for word translation. Der Schorn Wasserfall. So it's a German, and its equivalent in English, word for word translation is in English is the pretty waterfall. So you can say that the Schorn, pretty, and Wasserfall, waterfall. So this translation is very much similar. But does it this similarity applies to other European languages? Let's see. Right? For example, we have seen that they have the similarity. Der for the, pretty, was pretty, and beautiful, all the same words. But let's take the example of Spanish language. We would get La Cascada Hermosa. The waterfall, beautiful. In this translation shows us that now the syntax is changed. Now the noun is before its adjective, whereas in English and in German we have seen that adjective comes before its noun, right? The beautiful waterfall. So the words languages have many interesting and important syntactic features that you should know about. For example, we have seen that in all these three languages, the article is in the beginning of the noun phrase. But does it remain same in the other languages? As we have seen that adjective and noun relationship is in German and English, adjective precedes the noun, and in Spanish, the adjective follows the noun. But what about the article? English has some, but not all of these features. So if we only looked at English, we'd miss out many features of other languages. Let's see one example from Spanish. Es nuevo. It's a Spanish example. If we translate it word for word, we find es is new. In Spanish language, it's a complete sentence. But in English, we know that it's not a complete sentence. We need it to make it a sentence. We can say it is new. It's new, right? But in Spanish language, this pronoun, since this pronoun is pragmatically understood, so it is eliminated. So it really means is new, as I've just told you. Spanish typically drops the subject pronoun, meaning it. In such example, for this reason, it's known as a pro-drop language. So this is a type of language which is pro-drop language. It means that certain pronouns which are, as I just said, that which are understood in the context are dropped. So many languages have example parallel to this. For example, Arabic has this example. and many other languages, right? Indonesian language, right? So when we study the other languages, so we get features which are similar and which are different in languages. These simple examples show that we can't expect sentences in other languages to be word for word translation of English sentences. The second reason is that linguists want to discover the common properties that languages share, their homogeneity or sameness, right? So what are the common properties of languages? One of the most important discoveries of modern linguistics is that languages do not vary from each other at random, but are remarkably alike. We are all human beings and we use language. Though our languages are different from each other, but certain features of the languages are same. We all have nouns in our languages. We all have verbs in our languages. We all make words. We all make phrases. We all make clauses. We all make sentences, right? So these features are found across the languages. So this is a remarkable understanding of human language. So most linguists want to uncover the central pattern common to all languages. Although specific constructions are not universal, as we just said, that in the construction of a simple sentence in Spanish and in English is different, right? All languages use a subset of same basic tools of grammar, as I just said, noun, verbs, adjective, etc. Though the number of parts of speech is different in different languages, the difference is just the presentation of certain facts, right? They do have with other name or they explain it differently. Each language has a word list or lexicon which all the speakers share, and that word list always contains words from several different classes, noun, verb, adjective. All languages combine these words into phrases, sentences, right? Languages manipulate the order of phrases for various purposes, to make question, to make imperative, to make exclamatory, etc. So they want the way we want to emphasize certain features, we change the order of the phrases, etc. So all these things have one common subject, and that is syntax, right? Which is we are studying, and it forms the subject matter of our discussion. So we are discussing syntax to know all about things, that how languages are similar and how languages are different from each other, and what are the core elements which are common to all languages.